If you're a founder and in the process of selling your company, and you haven't heard the term retrade yet, the first time will probably produce some heartburn, or worse. Most founders have never been through a partial, like a recapitalization or full buyout. So they're pretty surprised that after signing a letter of intent with their prospective buyer, the valuation of their business, and therefore the money they'll receive from a sale, can change. And here's a spoiler alert, it never increases. It's in your interest to have a transactional professional in your corner to prepare for and respond to this when it happens. Without a seasoned professional with years of experience and dozens or even hundreds of deals under their belt, this can often kill a deal or leave you, the owner, with far less than you deserve when you're selling your business. So, here's how it happens. You and the buyer co-sign the letter of intent. That's often called an LOI. That spells out the value, or sometimes a range, the proposed structure, cash, seller note, equity rollover, earn-out payments, for the acquisition of your business. After the LOI is signed, due diligence begins, wherein the buyer seeks to validate what you or your investment banker have told them about the business, usually beginning with finances, then moving to operations, legal, HR, and through a formal checklist, which when completed will signal that your deal is in the home stretch, subject to finalizing agreements and transferring cash and other consideration, that structure, to you for your ownership of the company. Now, each of you has different incentives to complete due diligence thoughtfully, but that's where the paths begin to diverge. For the buyer, it's their opportunity to validate their hypothesis about your company, to find hidden risks, to get to know more about how your business operates. And they'll want to take their time. To be thorough, yes, but also because longer due diligence favors the buyer. They can ask more questions, learn more about your company while it's off the market under their exclusivity, and potentially wear you down through what's referred to. For you, due diligence will seem invasive and accusatory. It'll feel like it goes on forever, and the process will distract you and your core deal team from running the business as usual. Now, the retrade happens when they come back to you with something they've found in due diligence that causes or allows them to suggest that your adjusted EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, is lower than reported, or that there's something they've uncovered that they'll assert are reasons for lowering the purchase price or changing the terms. Now, if you've never been through the process before, this will either seem like a breach of contract or bad faith negotiating. But that LOI is non-binding. You have options. One, this happens more commonly with private equity buyers. They're not all bad, and they're not all the same, but retrades happen with them much more commonly than with strategic buyers. So knowing that going in and having the conversation up front with your advisors and potential buyers could be key. Two, you could walk away from the deal. The LOI is non-binding, so you can end discussions with a bad buyer. And if rapport is lost and you can't see working with the buyer after the retrade, end the exclusivity, terminate the process. Three, you could push back, argue that the economics haven't changed, and support your contention with facts and data. You know your business better than anyone. Be willing to walk away from the deal, but stay open to working through the issues. Four, don't take it personally and recognize the tactic. And other times it's a sincere difference of viewpoint. Stay at the table and find agreement. Between a willing buyer and seller, structure fixes most valuation issues, and that divide can usually be bridged. If you don't have a financial advisor or some sort of transactional professional in the mix, this can be really hard. It's possible for you to DIY, but recognize that your buyer has probably done this more times in the past year than you'll do it in a lifetime. They're full-time predators, and you're a part-time prey. Arm yourself appropriately to protect your legacy.